Ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you something today that will either wake you up or shake you up. We live in a world where people walk around with six-figure cars and 50-cent minds. They dress like success but think like struggle. Why? Because they never learned the power of mental strength. But today, I'm here to tell you, build a mind so strong it scares people, not because you intimidate, but because your clarity makes them uncomfortable. Because your focus makes them question their own distractions, because your peace in the middle of chaos looks like power they can't explain. So how do you build a mind like that? A fortress so firm that fear, failure, and fake people bounce off it like rubber bullets? Let me give you 6 keys, not tips. Keys, because tips suggest comfort. Keys unlock destiny. You will never outperform the way you see yourself. That's not just a statement, it's a law. If your internal identity is rooted in doubt, fear, or smallness, your external life will reflect it like a mirror. Everything you do is shaped by who you believe you are. That's why so many people stay stuck in cycles of mediocrity, not because they're not capable, but because they've agreed with a false identity. They believe they're just ordinary, just getting by, just surviving. But the truth is, you can't walk like royalty if you think like a servant. You can't lead a movement when you see yourself as someone who was just meant to follow. It starts in the mind. Identity is not what the world says about you. It's not what your past did to you. It's what you decide is true about you right now. See, too many people are trying to change their behavior without changing their belief system. They want success, but still think like someone who's not worthy of it. They want to build empires, but haven't yet demolished the mental strongholds telling them they're not enough. Until you make peace with who you are and who you're called to be, you'll always self-sabotage at the edge of breakthrough. What you believe about yourself will create your standards will create your habits, and your habits will shape your destiny. If you see yourself as weak, you won't take risks. If you see yourself as unworthy, you'll settle for less. But if you see yourself as chosen, empowered, and called, you'll begin to move differently. You'll think strategically, speak intentionally, live with purpose. Rewriting your identity isn't about delusion, it's about alignment. It's aligning with the truth that you are not defined by your past, your pain, or your paycheck. You are defined by your potential, and potential is only unlocked when identity is clarified. Speak to yourself like someone becoming. Don't call yourself broke. Call yourself in transition. Don't call yourself average. Call yourself rising. Your words shape your world. If you want to build a mind so strong it scares people, you've got to first scare the old version of yourself. That voice in your head that says, "Who do you think you are?" Answer it boldly. "I'm becoming who I was always meant to be." Because when your identity shifts, everything shifts. You'll stop chasing validation and start walking in vision. You'll stop proving and start producing, and that's when the world takes notice, not because you're loud, but because you're unshakable. That's the power of mastering your identity. You are not a product of your circumstances. You are a product of your conclusions. That simple truth is the difference between someone who rises and someone who repeats. Controlling the narrative in your mind means taking authority over the stories you tell yourself about your life, your past, your pain, and your possibilities. Most people are held captive, not by the events of their lives, but by the meaning they've assigned to those events. They don't realize that every thought is either building a future or burying one. The battlefield is never out there, it's always between your ears. If you keep saying, "I always mess up," "Nothing ever works out for me," "People like me don't win," then guess what? You've just written the script for your future, and you'll live it out like a well-rehearsed play. But here's the good news, you can flip the script. You can interrupt the old dialogue and speak a new destiny into existence. Thoughts are not passive, they are seeds, and what you plant today, you will live tomorrow. You can't stop a negative thought from entering your mind, but you can stop it from taking root. You can challenge it. You can confront it with truth, and if that truth is strong enough, consistent enough, and intentional enough, it will start to rewire the pathways in your brain. That's not motivational fluff. That's neuroscience and spiritual law agreeing in harmony. Controlling the narrative also means taking back your power from everything that ever tried to define you. Maybe someone told you you weren't good enough. Maybe you failed publicly. Maybe life hit you hard. But guess what? You're still the narrator. You get to decide what it meant. Was it defeat or was it training? Was it rejection or redirection? You get to choose what that chapter says. You don't need everything in your life to be perfect. You need your perspective to be powerful. A strong mind is not one that's never been attacked. It's one that knows how to answer the attack. When fear shows up, you respond with vision. When doubt knocks, you answer with discipline. When shame tries to creep in, you counter it with identity. The stories you repeat become the lives you live. So choose your stories wisely. Speak victory, not victimhood. Speak growth, not grief. Speak future, not failure. Because when you learn to control the narrative in your mind, the enemy loses control over your momentum. You become dangerous, not because of what you've been through, but because of what you've decided it will mean. That's how you build a mind so strong it scares people. You refuse to let your past be your prison, and you choose to make it your platform instead. The average person spends more time feeding their body than they do feeding their mind. And that's the problem. You can't build a powerful life on a weak mindset. You can't expect to lead, grow, or succeed when your mental diet consists of gossip, distractions, and social media noise. If you want to build a mind so strong it scares people, you must feed your mind more than you feed your face. That means daily, intentional hive-al. You input that challenges you, stretches you, and calls you higher. Most people consume information for entertainment. Few consume it for elevation. They scroll, swipe, binge, and complain, but never read, reflect, study, or apply. You want to change your life, change what you feed your mind. Because what goes in will always come out. Garbage in, garbage out, greatness in, greatness out. The mind is soil. You're either planting seeds of wisdom or weeds of worry, and if you don't plant something powerful on purpose, something pointless will grow by default. Your brain is your most powerful asset, but most people treat it like an afterthought. They invest in clothes, vacations, gadgets, but won't invest in books, mentors, courses, or even silence. Silence is where deep thinking happens. It's where ideas are born, but too many are scared of silence because they've never taken authority over their own thoughts. So they stay busy to avoid facing the truth that they're undernourished mentally and spiritually. Let me be clear, reading a book a month won't make you successful. Listening to podcasts or going to seminars won't magically fix your life, but they will reshape your mindset, and once your mindset shifts, everything else becomes possible. Feeding your mind isn't about collecting more information. It's about creating transformation. It's not about being smarter than others. It's about being more intentional with your growth. You need to train your mind like an athlete trains their body. That means routine, discipline, repetition. It means doing it when it's boring, not just when it's exciting, because your next level of success is hidden behind a mindset you haven't built yet. You don't need more motivation. You need more mental nutrition. You need wisdom that challenges your comfort, shakes up your patterns, and makes you question what you've tolerated as normal. When you make feeding your mind a non-negotiable, you start thinking differently. You don't react, you respond. You don't follow trends, you set them. You stop being overwhelmed by problems and start seeing them as puzzles to be solved. That's how powerful your mind can become, but only if you feed it. So if you're hungry for a breakthrough, stop reaching for another snack and reach for something that stretches your thinking. Feed your mind like your future depends on it, because it does. That's how you build a mind so strong it doesn't just inspire people. It convicts them to level up. Everybody wants to be mentally strong, but no one wants to go through emotional warfare. We live in a time where people glorify success but hide the suffering that comes with it. Emotional fortitude is the foundation of mental strength. It's what allows you to keep showing up when everything in you wants to shut down. If you want to build a mind so strong it scares people, You must first develop a heart that can carry weight without collapsing. Emotional fortitude means you can be betrayed and not become bitter. It means you can face rejection and not retreat into insecurity. It means you can feel fear and still move forward. Most people quit not because they lacked opportunity, but because they couldn't manage their emotional load. Their feelings ruled their focus, their pain poisoned their purpose, and so, every time something got hard, they pulled back. But listen, pain is not your enemy, pain is a messenger. It's revealing where you're still vulnerable. It's testing what you believe about yourself. If you run from it, you stay weak. If you face it, you get stronger. The people you admire didn't get there by avoiding difficulty. They got there by developing endurance. They didn't just go through tough things. They grew through them. You've got to stop treating emotional pressure like a sign you're not ready. Pressure is the proof you're growing. Diamonds aren't made without it. Neither is destiny. You build fortitude in the moments when quitting feels easier than continuing, but you choose to keep going anyway. You build it when you don't lash out, break down, or give up, because you've trained your inner world to be more solid than your outer circumstances. Too many people build skills but never build strength. They can win when it's easy, but they fold when it's personal. You've got to grow thicker skin and a softer heart, strong enough to take a hit, but tender enough not to turn cold. You've got to be able to absorb stress without spreading it, lead through pain without leaking poison. That's emotional mastery. That's power. And remember, the enemy doesn't fear your talent. He fears your stamina. He fears that no matter how many times life hits you, you'll rise up wiser, tougher, and more focused. That's what scares people, not your success, but the fact that you didn't break becoming it. So if you're in the fire, don't curse it. Learn in it, stand in it, grow in it, because emotional fortitude is forged, not found, and once you've developed it, no storm can move you, no betrayal can undo you, no loss can define you. That's how you build a mind that's not just strong, it's indestructible. If your attention can be hijacked, your future can be stolen. That's the truth most people overlook in a world built on distractions. We live in an attention economy where the most valuable thing isn't money, it's focus. And if you're not defending your focus, you're surrendering your potential. To build a mind so strong it scares people, you must cultivate unbreakable focus. That means you stop reacting to everything around you and start deciding what deserves your energy. Distraction is the silent assassin of destiny. It doesn't show up in one loud moment. It creeps in slowly through constant scrolling, comparison, overcommitment, and meaningless noise. It convinces you that being busy is being productive. It floods your mind with urgency and robs you of clarity, but real power doesn't come from being everywhere. It comes from being fully where it matters. Focus is your force multiplier. One clear hour of deep work can outperform 10 hours of scattered effort. The problem is, most people are addicted to dopamine, not discipline. They chase quick hits of pleasure and avoid the discomfort of sitting with deep, hard problems. They jump from idea to idea, project to project, never building anything that lasts, because they've trained their mind to crave novelty instead of mastery. But if you want to build something real, something powerful, you need to develop monk-level focus, ruthless focus, the kind of focus that says no without apology, the kind that protects your mind like it's sacred, because it is. Focus is not about doing more, it's about doing less with greater intention. It means cutting out the good to make space for the great. It means knowing your priorities and treating them like non-negotiables. You have to be willing to disappoint others in order to stay aligned with your purpose. Because every yes to something meaningless is a no to something essential. And here's the truth. Your focus reveals your future. Where your attention goes, your energy flows. So if your mind is always cluttered, distracted, or divided, you'll never reach the depth required for mastery, leadership, or legacy. But when you learn to guard your focus, you become a weapon. You start seeing what others miss. You finish what others abandon. You tap into creativity, clarity, and momentum that most people never access. Not because you're more talented, but because you're more committed. So if you want to build a mind that rattles the room when you walk in, protect your focus like your life depends on it, because in many ways it does. The future belongs to the focused, not the loudest, not the fastest, but the one who refuses to be distracted. That's the edge, that's the separator, that's what makes you dangerous. If all you chase is profit, you'll fold under pressure. If all you want is praise, you'll collapse in criticism. If your mind isn't anchored in something bigger than you, life will shake you. That's why, to build a mind so strong it scares people, you must anchor it in purpose. Deep, unshakable purpose, not trends, not applause, not likes, something eternal, something unmovable, because when storms come, and they will, you don't need more motivation. You need mission. Most people are mentally weak because they're spiritually empty. They chase titles without truth, ambition without alignment, hustle without heaven, so when things get hard, they don't know why they're fighting. They get lost in the pressure, confused by the pain, and derailed by detours, because their mind was never connected to a deeper why. Purpose is not just a nice word on a vision board. It's the anchor that keeps you standing when everything around you says, sit down. It's what keeps your soul stable when your situation feels unstable. Purpose gives your pain context. Without it, you'll see your struggles as punishment. But when your mind is anchored in a calling, you'll recognize that pressure is part of preparation. You'll stop asking, why is this happening to me? And start asking, what is this building in me? That's a whole different mindset. That's not surface level thinking. That's warrior thinking. That's the kind of mind people don't understand. The kind that unnerves them because it doesn't break under stress. It gets sharper. Anchoring your mind in something bigger than yourself also makes you immune to distraction. Because when you know your assignment, you don't entertain every opportunity. When you know your purpose, you stop seeking permission. You stop shrinking to fit rooms you were meant to transform. You walk in with clarity, not confusion, with confidence, not arrogance, because you know who sent you. You're not just working. You're walking in alignment, and here's the secret most won't tell you. Purpose doesn't always feel good. Sometimes it feels like being stretched, being crushed, being overlooked. But even in that, you're still grounded, because you know it's not about comfort, it's about becoming. It's not about being seen, it's about being shaped. That mindset, that kind of inner foundation, it terrifies people who are used to shallow living. So if you want to build a mind that's unshakable, stop chasing fleeting goals. Anchor yourself in unchanging purpose. Don't just ask, what do I want? Ask, what was I made to do asterisk? And once you know that, lock in. Live it, think from it, build from it, because that's how you become unstoppable. Not because life gets easier, but because your mind gets deeper, and that depth is what makes you dangerous. That's what makes you different. That's how you build a mind so strong it doesn't just scare people, it awakens them.